I guess last we left off, we did the first four chakras, and now we can talk about the last three.
Yes, we left off with the heart. So the next chakra is the throat chakra. The Sanskrit name for that is Vishuddha, and the communication and expression is the focus of that chakra. It's located centrally at the base of the neck, so kind of in this area here. The associated color for this is blue. And the body systems, of course, include the throat, the ears, the nose, the teeth, your mouth, your neck, your thyroid, and your parathyroid. So all the things that encompass this region here and function. The element for this one is a little bit different. It's ether. So you're moving up towards the spiritual aspects of this. Um, the ruling planet for this is Mercury. Um, And the crystals that are associated with this chakra are turquoise, lapis lazuli, aquamarine, and sodalite. I do have the lapis lazuli here,
Hmm, pretty.
flecks of gold and stuff in it.
What does it look
So
like if this is imbalanced or if it's closed?
okay, well, let's start with the balance part of it. If it's balanced, the person tends to be a good communicator, contented. They find it easy to meditate and they're artistically inspired. But if it's unbalanced, they may delve into overthinking. They might be dogmatic, self-righteous, and some people might even be arrogant. Now, if it's blocked, that holds the person back from self-expression. They might be unreliable. They might hold inconsistent views.
Hmm.
Um, Overall, they may just not have a voice. They may not be able to properly express themselves. They may not be able to speak up for themselves to live in their truth, you know. They kind
Hmm.
of mute themselves. So mental emotional manifestations are difficulty managing emotions, difficulty expressing themselves, fear of it, they're speaking up. They might feel misunderstood. And in feeling misunderstood, that makes some people just shut down and not say anything. Lack of authenticity leading to disconnect between thoughts and actions,
Hmm.
addiction, gossip, judgment of others. Um, the affirmations that I found for this one were actually a few. My voice is becoming stronger and more compelling. What I have to say is worthy of being listened to. And then I am starting to speak up for myself.
Hmm.
This chakra speaks to learning to advocate for self as well as others, but definitely learning to advocate for self. It
Yeah.
involves that process of being seen and heard and understood.
And that,
Some exercises. I cannot do this one. I will not attempt ever in life. A shoulder stand.
a shoulder stand.
Yeah, they talk about some more yoga exercises. A shoulder stand. I cannot. I'll fall and break something. But I mean, to those of you who are balanced and flexible and able to do so and have that core strength, thumbs up.
Yeah.
Um, Supported fish pose, mantra chanting, like actually chanting, you know, neck stretches, visualizations with blue patterns, hydration, proper hydration, pranayama or tantric breath work, assertive communication, singing, speaking, and other vocal expression. A
Hmm.
person could even decide they're going to participate in spoken word,
Yeah.
you know,
Practicing
poetry.
opening the throat chakra.
Hmm. Yes. Um, so the next chakra is the third eye, ajna, and that's for intuition and insight. It's located above but between the eyebrows, so somewhere like right in here.
Hmm.
Um, and the color associated with is indigo. Sometimes it's hard to find indigo in the right form. It's Even when I make the candles, because I make chakra candles, when I'm making the candles, I always have to blend the indigo to make it because it is a combination of blue and purple, but leaning more into the blue side of it.
Like a dark blue.
Yeah, it's real deep, which when you think about, well, when I think about indigo, I think about the slaves that were brought into Charleston through that port
Mm.
and Gullah Geechee and in their traditions, but a lot of times in that region they dealt with rice plantations. They did indigo. So I think of it because when I did my research on that, it was a beautiful, like deep purple blue type color. It was gorgeous.
Mm.
And so that color just stays in my head now because I saw that and I was just like, oh, wow, okay. The body systems for this chakra are the pituitary gland, the eyes, and the base of the skull. The element, as like I said, we're rising a little bit more here. It's light and telepathic energy. The ruling planet for this is two, Neptune and Jupiter. The crystals are amethyst, purple apatite, and sapphire and fluorite. I do have a piece of fluorite here. You can't see all the striations in it, but it's got some different ones here, right there.
Yeah.
Um, and when it's balanced, the person is charismatic, they're highly intuitive, they're not attached to material things per se, and they might experience some unusual phenomena, heightened perception like auras, and increased memory.
Hmm.
This might be the point when that person is experiencing some of their spiritual gifts. Um, when it's unbalanced, the person might be highly illogical, dogmatic again, authoritarian, and arrogant. And when it's blocked, they might be undisciplined. They might fear their own success, and they might set their sights too low.
Hmm.
Um,
And
so
what can you
what'd you say?
do? What can you do if, the third eye is um imbalanced, if it's blocked?
If it's blocked, well, if it's blocked, there's some of the same exercises, but a little bit different. Um, now the before I get into that part, I will say that the mental or emotional manifestations of this one um tend to be a little bit problematic for a lot of our clients. They might have nightmares, they might be having insomnia, sleep paralysis, some mental confusion, lack of focus. They might even have some extreme anxiety. For some people, not all, they might think that they're having hallucinations or that they're not sure if it's a vision or a hallucination.
Hmm.
They might be highly skeptical, closed-minded about things. So, the affirmations for that, I recognize the need for stillness and silence in my life. Again, when you're trying to elevate yourself, you have to be able to go within, and that involves being quiet enough to hear that inner voice. Um, the other one I have is the answers to all my questions lie within me. And I have nothing to prove. I am the divine plan manifesting itself. So those are some of the affirmations that could resonate with people. There's, like I said, there's so many more. The exercises or the work that can be done, visualization. Again, we got some more yoga. Like you said, it's a spiritual experience.
Yeah.
Child's pose, eagle pose, and dolphin pose. I'm not even sure what the dolphin pose is, but I'm slightly scared.
I
Because when
don't
I
know
think
what
about
that
the
is
shape of
either.
a dolphin, I'm kind of looking like,
Hmm. I gotta
um,
look that up.
right now you're about to look it up so you can tell everyone what it is.
Yeah, let's see. What is this? Okay. So it's kind of like downward dog, but your forearms are touching the mat or the ground.
Oh, you mean like you're like this, kind of like
Yeah.
if you're doing a plank or something?
Yeah, but you're in a pike position instead of a plank position.
Okay. I think okay. That doesn't sound too bad. Okay. We can also do some breathing exercises like alternate nostril breathing, candle gazing, just general meditation, nature immersion. So get yourself out there again. Sun salutations. And then you could also do diets of darker blue or purple foods like eggplant, plums, and grapes.
Hmm.
So while you're taking in that nourishment, you can focus on your affirmations and start to heal. Now we have moved up to the final one that we are going to address, the seventh
Yay.
chakra, the crown, which is Sahasrara. And that is about spiritual connection and enlightenment. This one
Hmm.
is located at the top or the crown of your head. So up there. Its associated color is violet, gold, or white. The body system is the pineal gland, the upper skull, the cerebral cortex, and of course the skin, because that's just that outer layer, that first contact.
Yeah.
Um, the elements, these elements keep getting different as we go further. Thought and cosmic energy.
Hmm.
And the ruling planet for this one is Uranus. So now the crystals for this are Herkimer diamond, clear quartz, and snowy quartz. And like I said, there's so many others, but these are just a few to give you an idea of the different crystals. Some might seem like they overlap depending on the person, but so when it's balanced, the person could be magnetic, have a magnetic personality. Um, they might achieve miracles in their life as some perceive it. They are transcendent, they're at peace with themselves, and they have a profound sense of spiritual awakening, increased empathy, and mystical connections. So that goes into the clairs, clairaudience, clairsentience. We talked about that a little bit the other day too.
Yeah.
Um, when it's unbalanced, a person might appear psychotic or manic depressive, confuse sexual expressions. They may be frustrated or have a sense of unrealized power. When it is blocked, they might be constantly exhausted. They're extremely indecisive and they don't have a sense of belonging anywhere, not
Hmm.
within themselves, not within their family and friend systems, not within this galaxy, really. They might just feel like they're not available. Um,
Or
it
out
can
of this
manifest
world.
in, hmm?
Or out of this world.
Yeah. You keep telling people, I don't think my crown chakra is blocked, but I keep telling people that I ain't supposed to be here. I think my spaceship broke down and they just didn't come back and get me. So I'm stuck.
Hmm.
I
What's going
digress.
on with your crown chakra?
I digress. I'm gonna stop being petty right now. Um, the mental or emotional manifestations that can come with that could be confusion, lack of purpose, a lot of brain fog, difficulty releasing limiting beliefs, and
Hmm.
feeling empty or existential crises. Now, for the affirmations, I choose to transform my life and become free. I tune into the union with my higher power, and I cease to limit myself intellectually and in my creativity and connect my spirit to the source of all knowledge. The exercises that can be done for this, again, meditation and some more yoga. Here we go. Tree pose, another headstand, and lotus pose.
Hmm.
Then you can also participate in energy healing like Reiki or acupuncture. The mantras and affirmations related to the crown chakra, breathing exercises, and chanting. And you can do some of these things combined, some of them individually. It really doesn't matter. It's what resonates with you.
I see. So each one of these chakras is associated with different emotional, physiological, psychological aspects of our well-being.
Yes.
And when these energy centers are balanced, we feel more in tune with ourselves. But when they're blocked, it manifests in these ways of like emotional distress, anxiety, physical symptoms, you're saying?
Yes. The whole thing is when you look at it in general and, collectively together, everything that we've discussed it is how to take care of yourself. What are you doing for yourself? How are you reconnecting with yourself? How are you refueling? Not
Mm,
just eating, but mentally, emotionally. How are you taking care of you?
yeah, yeah.
We often don't realize our thoughts are us. So if you're constantly thinking in a negative manner, you're not going to be able to find that positivity because you're feeding negativity to yourself.
Mm.
It's kind
Our
of like that.
thoughts
What you envision is what
reinforce,
you're going to generate.
right. Yeah, yeah. Our thoughts reinforce that. Um, so this is powerful stuff. But do you find that clients are open to these practices or do they see them as woo-woo?
Um, the woo woo. Uh, that's a fair question. That's a fair question. Some clients might be skeptical in the beginning, but as practitioners or clinicians, when we reframe it, like seeing meditation as, a nervous system regulation tool or viewing creative expression as a form of emotional release, it locks into place, it clicks. The gears kind of fit where they're supposed to. I always say healing isn't just about talking, it's about experiencing.
So,
And
have have you ever looked at actually finish your thought and I'll tell you what I'm thinking right now.
go ahead.
Okay. Because have you ever looked at the chakras and then looked at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, that thing they teach us in social work school, human behavior. Like,
Yeah,
don't they kind of look a little similar?
they do. The thing is, we find a different commonality with a lot of belief systems. And in doing so, I have stuff all over my desk. I have managed to scatter notes everywhere, so I apologize if I'm slightly distracted because my ADHD is bad. Um, but the different belief systems, when people, no matter where they are in the world, something bigger than all of us is happening and occurring, but different cultures tend to label things a different way, give things different names, and find different ways of acknowledging and practicing. So when you look at that, the thing is to think about where did Maslow pull some of those thought processes from?
It was heavily borrowed from his observations of the Blackfoot Nation.
Okay.
And his conclusion was not the same as the um, Blackfoot Nation. belief on what the hierarchy of needs is.
Mm-hmm.
Maslow creates a more um, individualistic version of it, whereas there's even goes even further beyond self-actualization to um, like becoming taking that to the community.
Okay. Okay.
But when we look at Maslow's version, it does seem to go in the same direction as the seven chakras, starting from that base physiological needs, needs for safety, needs for love and belonging, needs for esteem, and then self-actualization at the very top. And
Okay.
so this Western psychology that, it's not something that was studied and found to be like um 100% accurate to every situation, but it's a model, and we've used that model to help us understand each other. And in so this way, in this way, chakras are also a model that help us understand ourselves.
Um, and looking at it in that perspective as well, I cannot stress enough. Everybody can take what we provide, anyone else's research digging far back, because um, if I look at it in a cultural or clinical perspective, in Hinduism, chakras are meditation sites and they represent spiritual transformation. And usually there's about seven chakras in Hinduism. Buddhist ideas connect chakras with levels of consciousness, enlightenment. Typically, they resort to four main chakras unless it's Tibetan Buddhism. And that can vary depending on the particular practice. So it could be four, five, seven, or even 10. In tantric traditions, chakras are, viewed as purely energetic and used in specific sequences of practice. In Chinese practices, similar ideas of an internal subtle physiology of the body. So it's still looking at that energy or chi. And then we
Yeah.
have our Western culture, where the most prominent model is the seven chakra system. Henceforth, why we chose seven tonight. Chakras are sometimes used in psychology and complementary medicine, depending on the practitioner. So that more holistic form of practice.
So we've adopted Eastern or New Age spiritual practices have really adopted the Eastern philosophy and spiritual aspects of chakras. Can we touch on the importance of honoring these roots where the chakras come from?
Yes, we can. In doing so, mental. Oh, 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 I'm breaking stuff. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh no,
I'm breaking stuff. Oh, that's my phone I'm breaking. Wait a minute.
don't do that.
No, ma'am, because I looked at the cost of an upgrade today and oh no, we will not.
No.
Not today.
Yeah, no, please don't.
I promise. But yes, chakras, they come from, like I said, Indian traditions.
Mhm.
And within the Hinduism and the Buddhism, um, it's crucial that when we integrate these practices or concepts into Western mental health, we have to do it with respect and acknowledgement of the origins. So we cannot look at it and say, oh, yeah, this is us. We did this. This, it doesn't come from us. We have to acknowledge where it came from
Yeah.
and be mindful of the cultures that this is a way of life for them. A lot of times, these are the things that a lot of Eastern culture um, they teach their children in these manners. This is part of them.
Hmm.
Here we do incorporate religion, to some extent spirituality. We focus on sports, and of course the US, we are a capitalist society.
And
So when you are,
individualistic.
yes, very much individualistic. So when you're looking at these types of practices, you have to put yourself in that place of not being completely about self, even though you are focused on healing self. Um, in a
So
more
I
direct
wonder,
term, because I'm blunt, be humble.
yeah, and I wonder how the westernization of the chakras has affected um our conversation about like what each of the chakras are, what they do. So I'd love to read about different versions and see how that might be similar or different.
Oh yeah. What I can do is research some reading material for you, and then I can also um link that in the comment or the in the description as well.
Cool.
Because that way they might, be like, oh yeah, let's go check this book out or check out this source, or there might be a great article about it. But in looking at, honoring the different traditions and respecting roots, I also love to connecting this practice to other cultural healing traditions. Like, how indigenous and African spiritual practices also emphasize energy, ancestors, and holistic wellness in general. So it's not just about, what a pill can fix, but it's also about the mental and the emotional. It's about treating your body as that temple and healing it. Healing is not new. Not by a long shot. Our ancestors have always had wisdom beyond what modern psychology often acknowledges.
Wow, this has been such an enlightening conversation. Angela, thank you for sharing your insights on chakra healing and its connection to mental health. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment below. Let us know which chakra you want to learn more about. And if you're looking for therapy with a holistic approach, Angela has immediate openings at Blue Moon Therapy if you reside in Florida or Texas.
Thank you, Jess. And if y'all vibing with Jess, she's at Riachi Counseling. And if you are in Florida and New York,
Yes, that's right.
if you're in Florida and New York, check her out.
Thank
But
you.
again, thank you. And remember that healing isn't just about the mind. It's about our bodies, it's about our souls. And we have to keep grounding, keep growing, and take care of ourselves.
The meditation for the first chakra will be linked to this video and will be released shortly. I'm thinking maybe a day after this one. We'll see, but very shortly. Try it out. Let us know how it resonated with you in the comments. This will be the first of a series of meditations, as Angee has agreed to record a video for each of the 7 chakras. Really excited to see this.
And I'm excited to do it. So, again, thank you for joining us at Groundwork Foundations, and we will see you next time.
Bye bye.